All right, let's give this a shot. We're going to attempt some rotoscoping here. Now, this is going to be a little intimidating because even though I limited the number of frames, it's still going to be a lot. Okay, so just prepare for me. Don't freak out on me, all right? So first thing we're going to do is we're going to do File, Open, and you're going to go to whatever sequence you've been assigned. I should be trying to give it to you on a flash drive because it's way too messy to try to upload it to learn. You're going to click the first one in the sequence, and then you're going to go down to Options and click Image Sequence, and then click Open. And what that will do, it's going to say what frame. This is going to say 30. You want to That's going to say 30 by default when you open it. You want to change that to 8. Okay. You want to change the frame rate to 8, and then you're going to click OK. And it's going to open all of your images in a video sequence, and you're going to have a video group just like when we did with the cinematograph. Okay, so you get this timeline. This shouldn't look new to you, but you have, it's 8 frames per second, and you have 10 seconds of footage. So how many frames is that? Right around 80. Some people have a few more, some people have a few less. Everything's right around 80. Okay, so you've got 80 different pictures in here. Yeah, I know, that's a lot. I'm going to show you some tricks. It'll be okay. First thing we need to do is we need to create a new video layer, just like we did before. Command Option Shift E. And it helps if I do it on the right thing. Yes, I want to delete that layer. Make sure you have Video Group 1 selected, not Layer 1. Video Group 1. Command Option Shift E. There we go. New video layer. Okay, and then you got this big long thing right here of your still frame. You want to take it and you want to drag it, and it should auto lock per frame. Each frame it's gonna like try to stop. You want to drag it all the way down so it's one frame. And yeah, I know that looks really small. It'll probably look a little bigger on your computer because you have a bigger screen than I do. And then you're going to repeat this for a while. Well, not read this. You're going to make a new layer. You don't want a new video layer this time. You just want a new layer. So there's 3 different ways to do that. Layer, new layer. There's a little layer button down here at the bottom. Or Command Shift N. And that put it above. Make sure we're down in that video group. Let's try this again. Truthfully, to me, the easiest way is just the new layer button. There, put it in the right spot. Okay, and each time, yeah, I'm sorry, there's no shortcut for this. I tried finding one, there just isn't one. You need to lower it down so it's just one frame. And you can check that by clicking your little dragger here and pulling it through. And each time it's going to stop, it should stop at each space in between each of those little purple marks. And it should change slightly every time it stops at one of those. That's how you know you've got one frame. If it changes more than just a little bit, then you know you've got more than one frame. Okay? Try the shortcut again, see what it does. Okay, it is going to do it right. So Command Shift N. See, then you have to click OK each time. For me, this is just easier. And yeah, you're going to have like between 75 and 85 layers. I hear you. I do. I promise. It'll be okay. Now, obviously, I'm not going to click and make 80 different layers on this video because we'd be doing this for a while and you'd just be watching me make layers. But I am going to do a few more here. All right. So I've got, let's do, let's do just a couple more. Just a couple more. All right, I did 24, so that's what? Yep, that's 3 seconds. And you're thinking, oh my gosh, you're going to expect me to draw over all of this and animate this frame by frame. A couple things we want to do before we really get started here. Go back down over here in your layers palette. Go back down to layer, very first layer, layer 1. Lower your opacity. I like right around 80%. You do you. You figure out which one you want to do. And what that does is watch what after I get past frame 1, watch what it does. Okay? It makes it so that the footage is just a little bit faded out. So when you're drawing, you can see what you're doing. It's not gonna be on top. Now, you might not like that. You might just want it at 100% and just draw it on top, and that's fine too. Okay? You do you, whatever you want to do, that's fine with me. Okay? The other thing you might want to do is over here is click on enable onion skins. Okay? And what that does is it's going to show you what you drew in the frame before. Now, truthfully, because we are doing 8 frames per second and it's changing so much each time, you may not want that. But if you're doing a lot of drawing and you want to see, what you did before, you can kind of see how it shows the frame before. It looks kind of blurry. That's because onion skins is on. All right, so those are 2 things that you might want to play with. Now, go back up here, make sure we're on our second video layer, go to our first layer, and then you can just go in here and B for brush and start coloring and painting and doing all kinds of fun, funky things. A couple things to show you before you start. We played with hardness, we played with size before. You can change the size of your brush. You can change the hardness of your brush. Now there's also different brush types. Okay, so there's soft round, hard round, and then there's like ones that are by pressure. Not sure we're going to get out the graphic tablets, so we may not be messing with those. But there's dry media brushes like a pencil, HB pencil, charcoal pencil, chunky charcoal, pastels. And I'm not sure what you'll have on your computers because, again, your computers are different than mine. So I'm not sure what you're going to have available to you. But trust me, there's going to be some different brushes down in here that you can play with. And like if I come down here to this wet blender and I want a blue kind of for the car. And I come in here. Ooh, that's really big. That's really big. Remember, undo is your friend. And I can come in here and I can start painting over the car with the blue. Now what it's doing is as I paint over this, it's kind of blending the colors behind it. So because there's a black down here at the bottom, it's blending that in. Okay, so over here it's going to blend this color in. Alright, so watch what happens if I go over their face. It just becomes kind of a mess of color. So that probably won't really work for what you want to do, right? careful not to go too far before I show you the. Okay, I got a blue pencil. I can come in here and trace around his head, trace around his glasses. And again, remember Z for zoom. I can zoom in here and go down with even smaller brush. B for brush. I believe. Yep. Brackets to change the brush size. There's a little eyedropper over here right above your pencil tool that you can get some colors. You come in here and pick the colors right out of the image, and it'll give you the colors. B for brush. And it'll give me just like almost the exact color of his skin, which you can't really see. So you may not really want to do that. You might want to go something darker. Because, I mean, what's the point of drawing if you can't see it, right? Alright. Now, as I stated before, I wanted to show you something. So let me go back up and get rid of all of what I did before. Zoom out. Alright, let me show you a really cool shortcut. Are you ready? We're going to go up here to Filter. And we're going to go to Filter Gallery. And there's all of these different filters that you can come in and play with. Like I can do colored pencil, I can do cutout, and over here on the side I can play with the number of levels of it as well. The edge simplicity on this one, the edge fidelity. So I can get some pretty cool animation effects without really doing much of anything. Now you're going to say, that's cheating. Well, to some extent. But do you really want to sit and draw on 80 different frames? Now, am I going to say that you can just do this on every frame? No, I'm not going to say that. Okay? But you can do it and then add to it. So let's try dry brush. The only problem is going to be is that why didn't it do it? Layer 2. Filter. Filter gallery. Dry brush. Okay, there it did it. I don't think I was on the right layer. I'm gonna got to go to filter. Oh, make sure we're to go to layer 3 and then filter. Filter gallery. What? That's not true. That's not true. Filter gallery. There we go. You're going to have to do it down here on the first layer. I guess you have to do it on the layer underneath the video. The video group layer. Okay, so you're going to do it down here. Video group 1, that layer. That's where you're going to do it. And you have to drag to the next frame. Filter gallery. Drag to the next frame. Filter gallery. But once you've got it set the way you like it over in here, it's just a matter of click, 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 click. Which I hear you is repetitive. If you've figured out a quicker trick, by all means let us all know. Because I do not claim by any stretch of the imagination to be a Photoshop guru. So if some of you know a trick that you have learned on how to do this quicker, by all means, let us know. Okay, so let's go back and look at what we did. Okay, so that's kind of cool. So once you've done that with a filter, gone through all the way through and then a filter, then go back through and just add a little bit of hand drawn something or other. Okay? Come back in here and add just a little, a couple of extra elements here and there. All right. Now, for those of you that really know Photoshop and you've taken digital media and you or you play with it at home, and if you want to, go crazy, okay, go crazy. Add, a flying hamburger in here. Add, I don't know, a dancing dinosaur in the background. Whatever it is you might want to add, go ahead and add it. Have fun with this. All right. If you want to make your 10 seconds completely abstract, as long as it flows. Now remember, the main thing to remember in doing animation is that you have 10 seconds. So whatever you're doing, you can't change it, completely change colors and styles and everything from frame to frame. Okay? It won't work. It'll be really wacky and it'll drive people's eyeballs crazy. So pick something and stick with it. I mean, there's some really weird and crazy ones up in here. Let's go back to filter. Let's do. We don't really want to play with those. Those don't really help us with anything. Those are really anything really cool. Let's go down here to stylize, glowing edges. I mean, look at that one. That's pretty fun. We go down here to texture, patchwork, stained glass. Now, stained glass, you can't really tell what's going on, but if you come down here and reduce the frame size and cell size, you can. Reduce the border thickness. Okay. Look at these sketch ones. Distortions. Brush strokes. There's lots of different things to play with. I'll be around to help. I'll talk you through this. It'll be okay.